This is a step-by-step guide on how to use the small claims court to recover financial loss or get your money back from a UK business or individual. Hi, this is Mosh. I make finance and investing simple and easy to understand, so give this channel a subscribe and this video a like. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to do to make a small claims court application, and I'm going to talk about my own experience and how I managed to sue ENQUIRES, the well-known UK retailer. So if we head on to www.gov.uk, make court claim for money, it tells us a little bit of information. It says, what is a court claim? You can apply to a county court to claim money you're owed by a person or a business. This is known as making a court claim. It is often used to be known as taking someone to the small claims court. You can apply online or by post. And it says a mediation service is quicker. Now, you'd only use this service if you've emailed them, you've done everything in your power to try and get your money back for something, or if something was delivered, a product or a service that was not up to the standard that was required by yourself. So the next thing, let's get on to the court fees. So the court fees is based on the amount you're claiming plus any interest that's occurred over time. So for example, up to £300, £35, 300 to 550, and it increases each time. And the maximum it goes to, if it's something more than £200,000, is £10,000 as fees. You will have to put this money up front. If you win the case, potentially you can get that money back. Another good thing is if this issue has gone over such a long time, you actually get interest on the amount that you're owed. Now, generally they take an annual interest of around 8% of the amount that you're claiming for. Because if you're due a refund and the company's not refunded you that money could have potentially gained interest. Next, if you go to make a claim, and online is the quickest route, but you can only do it online if it's a UK business. So if you go to make a money claim, it says try a new online service, continue. Okay, I'm going to say £10,000 or less. Is this claim against more than one person or organization? So if it's one individual person or organization, then I'm going to click no. Does it have a postal address in England or Wales? Yes. Scotland is slightly different. You'll have to use an alternative route. Who are you making the claim for? So if it's for yourself or your business, you click that. All right, save and continue. Do you have a postal address in the UK? So this is your own address. Yes, I do. Save and continue. Are you claiming for a tenancy deposit? Nope. Are you claiming against a government department? Which is a no. Do you believe the person you're claiming against is over 18? Okay. If it's an individual, put yes. If it's a company, I'm claiming against a company or organization. Save and continue. Are you over 18? Yes, I am. Do you need help paying court fees? So if you're on certain benefits, I think they help you out a little here. All right, so it says I can use service and continue. The first thing you have to do is sign in. So I'm going to quickly sign in. Now it takes you to this page. Now I'm going to talk about my own experience. I've actually been to small claims court several times. I find it the easiest way to actually get my money back dealing with businesses that take the piss. And I'll explain my reasons why I think is probably the more appropriate route to try and get your money back. So there's 7 sections complete. The first section is consider other options. So you click on here, resolving the dispute. It says talk to the organization or person. I would highly recommend sticking to emails because phone calls are slightly harder to track. Whereas emails, you've got a time, a date, you've got the context of that email as well. Now, before going to small claims court, you would have had to try and do everything in your power possible to try and reclaim that money back. So I've confirmed I read this and it'll come with complete. All right, it says prepare the claim, completing your claim. So I'm going to quickly go through each section. Get your details right, change the name of anyone you're involved with the claim, change the basis of your claim, and information that significantly changes your claim. Confirm I've read this. Okay, my details. So this is all about you. I'm going to quickly fill this in. So I filled my details in. The next part is their details. Now this is where you got to be careful. I'm going to give you guys a tip. So majority of the time, this will probably be a company. Now to figure out what type of company it is, for example, limited company, sole trader, or any type of other organization. So let's say it's a limited company, save and continue. It wants a company name information. Now when I sued ENQUIRES, the actual company name is not called ENQUIRES. So they were a bit devious in this, and you got to be careful with this. Now, when trying to find the company details, I would highly recommend you go on Companies House, but you go to the website before. So if you go to the website, we know this company is called ENQUIRES. Now, if I go to Companies House, put in Currys, you can see how many different options and companies it comes up with. You need to make sure you've got the right one. If it's a well-established business like Currys, what you can do is scroll right to the bottom of the web page or go to the Contact Us page, and it says here the information. Currys PLC registered in England and Wales, and it's got a Companies House number. What you need to do is copy and paste that number. So if I copy and paste that Companies House number, it should come up with the right company. Currys PLC, 1 Portalway, London. I think they've recently changed their company name because when I sued them, it was known as Dixon's Carphone Warehouse. So once you found the right company, you put in the detail. The next part, which is probably one of the most important part, is the claim amount. So if we click on here, it says your claim should be for a single amount or made up of multiple items, and you're not including the interest at the moment, and you're not including the claim fee. So what you're claiming for, briefly explain each item, for example, broken tiles, roof damage, whatever it is, and you add up the total amount. So I don't know, let's just say broken door, whatever it may be, £200, save and continue. It says, do you want to claim interest? You always click yes, because if it's occurred quite a while back, you're entitled to that interest amount. So press yes, save and continue. All right, how do you want to claim interest? Do you want the same rate for the whole period or break down interest for different periods of times or items? This is obviously dependent on you. The easiest route is same rate for the whole period. The annual rate of interest you want to claim for, as I said, the standard is 8%. Obviously, if you want something higher, you can put in a different rate, but you have to have a reasons behind why you want a higher rate. Save and continue. Right, when are you claiming interest from? It's from either the date you submit the claim or a particular date. I would personally do it from the date you had the issue with the item or the service, whatever it may be. But again, it's up to you. It's probably easier to do it from the date you submit your claim. Do you have a help with fees reference number? No, that's obviously if you're on benefits or something. All right, then it gives you a total. I'm claiming a total of £200 plus they've added on the claim fee. So if I win the case, I'll get that £35 or whatever that fee is back. And I'll get to this later on, because if there's a hearing fee, that would be £27. So if you actually go to court. All right, now this is probably the most important section, the claim details. So it says, briefly explain your claim. Tell us why you believe the defendant owes you money. Don't give us detailed timeline. They're going to ask that for later on. So this is just a brief summary of the issue. Right, save and continue. Now, this is really important, the timeline of events. And this is why I recommend any phone calls or emails that you have, or even letters, you put in everything that you have about the issue. The reason is if it does go to court, the judge is going to look at the evidence. I'll show you an example of the one I actually did to sue Currys and show you sort of extracts of what I put in there. So timeline, what happened. So I put in information, amount, I put in any conversations I had with Currys, either through the chat or through email, and all the dates and times. All right, once you've done that, you go to save and continue. Let me just put anything in here. Right, then you've got your list of evidence. So contracts and agreements, expert witness, letters, emails, and other correspondence, photo evidence, receipts, statements of accounts, and any other. So I would recommend, if you got any of these, based on what you put earlier, the timeline of events, you take screenshots or pictures of the issues. So let's say you got a damaged roof, you take a picture of the roof and you put it in as part of your evidence. Okay, once you've done that, save and continue. So when you click here, it will give you a summary of all the information you put in, double check everything. So you got a statement of truth. I believe that the facts stated in this claim are true. You click it, you pay your £35 and it's submitted. The reason why I think this is so effective is because, especially if it's a large company, they don't want to go to court. They want to do everything going to court. The reason why I say this is because if it's not for a large amount, they're probably going to spend more on lawyers, traveling to the court, and all the other expenses that go along with it to actually defend the case. So for them, it's an easier route just to pay you off, and it's more cost effective for them. Now you can see this is the response I had from Dixon's Carphone Warehouse, literally probably about 3-4 days after I submitted the claim. So it says, I am in receipt of your claim form which has been allocated to me, and I will have a day-to-day conduct of the same. I've carried out my initial investigation. I'd like to settle your claim in full. So for the full amount that I put on my claim, I've received confirmation from customer service that your confirmation has been refunded in full. Due to the length of time this has passed since the original incorrect refund, it can no longer be cancelled or recalled. As an apology for the inconvenience you have suffered, we have prepared to forego these additional funds. So basically I made a little bit extra money above my actual full claim cost. In order to settle your claim in its entirety, I would pay £7.28 in interest and reimburse your £35 court issue fee. Please provide your bank details and arrange a payment with our finance department. So as soon as I put the claim in, they were pretty rapid to get on the case, because if we went to court, firstly, they would have had to hire a lawyer. That lawyer would have travel costs to go to the actual court that is being held in. Not only that, if they lost their case, they would have to cover all my costs. So if I brought a lawyer along with me, they would have to cover that. They would have to cover my travel cost, my parking cost, also a day off work. So the costs add up for them. I've actually been to small claims court another time before, and it is relaxed. I defended myself, and it was with an insurance company. There was some issues around the cost of claims. When I went into small claims court, it was very informal. It was literally a judge sitting around a table. It was me, and it was the opposition. And I would just explain to the judge, look, these are the reasons, this was the issues, and the judge found it in my favor. And the insurance company had to cover my day of work, my travel costs, my parking costs. And obviously if I brought lawyers along, I could have probably claimed for that as well. And my closing remarks would be, only go through this route if you've got the evidence. If you've got all the evidence and you've got a solid case, definitely use this route. Or if you want to scare the company up a little bit and you can afford to lose £35, just do it.